All right, so we are back, and today we answer the question that's been plaguing us for the last 2 years, really. No, I'm not talking about when will COVID be over. That seems like never. What I really mean is the question that we've all had for the last 2 years in the YouTube boxing scene, and that is, if KSI isn't training with Vidal, who's KSI's trainer? Well, the answer is surprising for many reasons. I know it sounds confusing, but you know what we do here. So, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so we have this interview from my boy Fred Talks Fighting. He was interviewing Leon Wills, and he got the scoop. I will say, Fred's a killer at his job. Go subscribe over at his channel, but I don't know if Leon was supposed to say as much as he said here. I think he realizes it right away. Let's take a listen, though.
Who's training KSI now?
He's got coaches. He's training with Alexis, part of Shoot Fighters Gym.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Is that an MMA gym, though?
Yeah, but they've got boxing history as well. I think they was involved with Derek Chisora.
True.
I think David Hay as well.
True.
Brennan Page trained there.
He trains out. He's out of Shoot Fighters as well. Yeah, but yeah, KSI's looking sharp. See him spar the other day. Very good. Very fit. Different style.
Different style. How's the style changed?
He's now more fluid.
Fred, killing the game as always. Great questions. If you listen there, Leon said he was being trained by Alexis at Shoot Fighters in London. Now, I may butcher this last name more than the pig's rib down at the meat shop, but KSI is training with Alexis Dimitriades, who is one of the head coaches over at Shoot Fighters in London. He's trained guys like David Hay. He trained Derek Chisora as the head coach for the Alexander Usyk fight. Keep that in mind because we're going to come back to it. He still trains Michael Venom Page, one of the most dangerous strikers in MMA. Now, he is mostly an MMA-specific coach, and it makes you ask the question, why is KSI going to train with a well-known MMA coach for a boxing match? He could have gone with Daly. He could have gone with other guys in the YouTube scene that have worked out of gyms before, but he went to Shoot Fighters specifically. And then when we take a listen to how Alexis himself describes Shoot Fighters and their gym mentality, we get a better idea as to how KSI ended up there.
Our gym is a combat gym. It's based around all aspects of combat. I think the difference with London Shoot Fighters is we believe in hard training. It's almost like having a bath. You can't take a bath without getting wet. You can't have a fight without getting hit. This is part and parcel of it. It's absolutely personal here. Every fight is personal. It's not business. Every fight is personal. We want to win every single fight.
So bearing in mind that video, plus Leon saying KSI is looking fluid, a lot more smooth. Those three names we talked about earlier, David Hay, Derek Chisora, Michael Venom Page, what do they all share in common under that tutelage? Not necessarily their entire career, but when they were coached by Alexis, they looked a lot smoother. They looked a lot more fluid. Even Derek Chisora, who I wouldn't consider to be a fluid fighter in the least bit, in the Alexander Usyk fight, which Alexis was the head corner for, Don was the high guard walking forward, trying to barrel into Usyk. Yes, he made it a dirty fight, but he was switching stances, trying to confuse Usyk with which hand he was going to lead with, and doing so against a technically proficient and slick boxer. David Hay has always been known for great footwork, quick reactions, and being able to use that against some bigger guys as he moved up in weight. So it makes sense while he was training with Alexis that was implemented a bit more with a more forward style. Again, Alexis saying they want to be aggressive. They're going to spar hard. They're going to come after you. Michael Venom Page has some of the most ridiculous highlight reel knockouts you'll ever see in MMA, and he is more fluid than fucking H2O. The guy is, as Bruce Lee said, like water. So in my opinion, KSI chose this gym specifically to highlight the strengths he already has, working hard, moving forward, big power, and to taper in some of the things that he gets a little wild on. Just like in the case of Jake Paul, and you see Danny Smith and BJ Flores trying to put muscle on him and mold him into a big KO puncher, because guess what? That's what he's good at. Team KSI looks like they're trying to take advantage of his cardio, push pace on guys, and make him more fluid in that pace, but he is under a professional coach now, so they are going to clean up some of the things like throwing the big overlooping shots. His technique, as Leon said, being more fluid and smooth, just makes me think that they'll utilize more straight punches and do so from an unconventional stance, which he kind of already had to begin with, but instead of seeing that high guard, maybe the hands are a bit lower and doing a little bit of the Michael Venom Page and or lower hands David Hay stance. KSI is going to have those same qualities, or he's going to run into some big time problems being countered, because regardless of what happens in that gym, he will come out and at least throw one of those big wild windmill shots. And if that's the case and he has more of a relaxed lead hand style, the pull counter is always there. Now, do I think this is a good thing that KSI is training in a predominantly MMA gym? I don't think it's inherently bad, because in this scene specifically, KSI is not going to be fighting guys that are traditional boxers. So going to a traditional boxer boxing gym to face guys that stand and throw and punch like traditional boxers isn't the best way to prepare for a non-traditional boxer. It's the same reason Jake is just now sparring boxers in his camp. He hasn't fought a traditional boxer until what I think is going to be Tommy Fury on August 6th. KSI is not going to do the same either. So most of the guys he's sparring in that camp, yeah, sure, some will be pro and amateur boxers, but others will be pro and amateur MMA fighters that will show him different looks, give him different angles to throw off of, and make him adjust to non-traditional setups and offense from guys that just aren't boxers. And in that sense, this is a really good move for KSI, in my opinion. You hear hard sparring, aggressive, hard work. These are things that KSI value. You hear professional, fluid, smooth, things that KSI needed to improve. They're checking all the boxes without trying to be something that KSI isn't. And I think that is the sweet spot and why I think this is a pretty decent move for KSI. Not flying to LA and trying to get Freddie Roach to train him, or flying to Vegas and trying to get the Mayweathers to train him. What are those guys going to teach KSI in that amount of time for him to be able to retain, right? Even when he went the first time to Mayweather, it wasn't like Jeff improved his style, and if anything, he was the same stylistically from fight 1 with Logan to fight 2. And also, this gets KSI away from the YouTuber training gym, where he's training alongside other YouTubers and maybe not ever reaching that next level because he's maybe kind of mixed in with other YouTubers in the same gym. He's putting himself in a scenario, in a situation where he is the least talented guy probably in that gym. And I think that's a fucking good thing. There's that saying, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you need to find a new room. Well, if you're the best fighter in your gym, you probably need to either bring guys in that are better or go find a new gym, because fighting guys that you're already better than and smashing them on a daily basis is not going to be something that makes you better. KSI is taking a chance here. Yeah, it's a risk. It's not like Alexis has a track record of training world champion level boxers throughout the last 20 years he's been at Shoot Fighters, but he's trained world championship level fighters. And again, I feel like it's a nice fit because they're not trying to be something KSI isn't, and highlighting the strengths that he does have. But you guys let me know, is this the right decision for KSI? How does this get him prepared for who I think is probably going to be Alex Wasabi? Could be someone else. They still haven't announced yet. I don't know. All I know is a gym that prioritizes damage, aggression, hard work, cardio, and coaches that have produced smooth killers that go in and not only look for finishes, but do so in a fluid manner that don't cause them to expel a ton of unnecessary energy. That seems to be right in KSI's wheelhouse. Will it work for him? What's his new style look like? And on fight night, will we see KSI 2.0? I guess we'll find out.